Hi Satnam, it's me, Shakti Sundari, and I'm back with you today for the next little message. The next little thought for the day. I'm going to have to think for a phrase for it. I don't like saying thought for the day. Sounds like Radio 4. Yeah, today's message though is about the gift and how everything in our lives, particularly the bits that we think are really awful, bring us the biggest gifts. In fact, in those darkest moments, in those most terrible times, in those greatest disappointments, frustrations, heartbreaks, that's where there really is the gold to be found that can catapult us forward onto the evolution of our soul's journey and to stepping into our greater potential. This is a realization that I've been coming to over the last several years, and then it just kind of really crystallized for me at some point. Maybe it was last year or this year, I can't really remember, and I just had a really clear knowing of this phrase, the gift, the gift, the gift, which came through when I was writing my first book, which I'm hoping to publish this year. As I was, I had the opportunity to reevaluate and go back over the last 10 years of my life, and I began to frame it from the perspective of how each heartbreak brought me so many gifts, and then that became the phrase, and then I realized how that applied to all of life. So I'm just going to say a little bit more to that, which is that I had a pretty good childhood. I was really blessed. And then when I went into my teen years, my parents' marriage became really, really fraught and horrible. It was very dysfunctional, destructive, just awful. Mum was a victim, dad was a bully, dominating, controlling, typical patriarch, and Mum didn't have the wherewithal to respond to that in a healthy way. Neither of them knew about any kind of healthy relating techniques at all. And so I witnessed this as a teenager, and it really affected me badly. And their parenting style was pretty awful as well. So as a teenager, I really wasn't happy. And I went into my 20s and 30s having had this modeled for me. And it really had affected me in many ways in terms of a lack of self-worth, even though I was being very successful in business. To all intents and purposes, I looked like I was a very academic, intellectual, clever, successful, high-earning person, but I wasn't happy inside. And I would keep tracing it back to my parents and blaming them for that, or kind of feeling that it had been really unfair, and if only I hadn't been treated that way, I wouldn't have turned out this way. And that really followed me through my 20s and my 30s. And kind of undermined all kinds of successes that I was having. In my outer life, it looked like I was a super successful achiever. But there was a sense of not being happy inside. And then fast forward to the last 10, 11 years of my life, where I've really been devoted to my spiritual path. And one of the amazing things that's happened is that in these 10, 11 years, I've been devoted to exploring conscious relationship and tantra, and for some reason, there is a reason, I've had more experiences of most profound, devastating heartbreak in these 10 years than I ever thought possible. Like moments where I've been on the floor crying, asking God why I'm alive and what is the point of this, and how could it possibly be that I'm experiencing this level of devastation once again. What I've come to realize as I've reflected back, though, is that each of those moments was a turning point, and each of those moments gave me a gift that grew my soul, and a gift that expanded my heart to be able to love more, and a gift to step more fully into my power and to my potential, and that my life has always, always, always expanded into something greater, that every relationship since has been better. Everything has just gotten bigger and better. It's just been that clinging on to what I had that kept me trapped and locked, thinking that that was the best, but actually there's always more. And so I also believe that we choose to be incarnated in this body at this time, to these parents in this situation, for a reason. Our soul makes a choice. And so now when I look back to my past and to the parenting that I had, it's just perfect. You know, for someone who wants to teach about conscious relationship, for someone who's devoted to the goddess and devoted to the awakening of her own divine feminine and masculine, and to serving the world from that place, and to being part of the movement of awakening of feminine and masculine, and moving towards the union, divine union within and in all around us. You know, to have the background of a family where that wasn't the case, to seek to understand it and to heal from it, has been the most perfect foundation and grounding for who I am and what I do today. Like, it couldn't have been more perfect. And as I look back, I see that in all of the other things that have happened that I labeled at the time as devastating, awful, depressing, unfair. Actually, when I've gone back to look at them, those have been the crux moments that have forced me to look at parts of myself that needed healing, that have forced me to step outside my comfort zone, and that have prompted me to open my wings and fly into an even bigger and better life. So everything is a gift. Everything is a gift. And that's why I'm writing my second book about this. And I'm going to be offering a workshop on November the 11th around this theme for anybody who's working through something at the moment, or wants to resolve something at the moment where it's still hooking into them and they feel there's an outer force to blame, or something that's unfair, or there's a disappointment that you can't let go of, or a heartbreak that you're still attached to. Trust me, if you have the courage to look at yourself honestly and vulnerably, you will find a great gift for yourself there that will empower you, that will move you forward, that will open you to your soul's destiny, that will take you higher. Honestly, everything is a gift. So that's my message for today. You don't need to come to my workshop to know that, to discover that, to see that. It just requires a change in perspective. So yes, everything is a gift. Thank you for being with me again, and I'll join you again tomorrow with another little message. Much love, happy Halloween, and Sat Nam.